Alrighty. Hey everyone, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Her Ladyship, Bassman, and Basswoman. Now, I need to put a link up. I do. Yes, I do. So I'll do that, shall I? And paste. Und. There she blows. Har, har. Excuse me. Dear, oh dear. Ah. Yeah, now, today, what am I doing? I didn't end up having enough, when I meant to put the metallic on, because you know, I was going to do it for prepping. Hardly ho.
How you doing?
Had a bit of a frustration this morning. Minor frustration. It's not a biggie. It's just to do with the prepping and stuff. But I can fix up in due. I'll show you. That will be easier.
Show me. Hey, where's David? I was just talking to him.
I am maybe he might be having a few rumbles with his audio or video capacity, perhaps. In the interim,
Coffee time. Coffee time.
Oh yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what to make of the fact that I have a coffee cup so big that I can almost put my head in it. What's the man to do?
I've got one that's 25 ounces. I'm looking at one a little bit bigger.
A coffee mug?
Yes, sir.
Oh, goddamn kilogram.
Where nugget? Where nugget? Where nugget?
Okay. Now, what happened?
Gotcha.
I
Look at here.
now, actually, first, excuse me for a moment. I'm just going to.
We got big ass cup. Where you at, Rob? Where'd you go, Rob?
Be respectful.
Why are you knocking at the door? I don't know. I was just talking to him.
I was no, sorry, mate. I was just blowing my nose.
Blowing your
And
nostril.
I risk of I didn't want to either A, deafen you, or B, make you think that I was being attacked by a rather amorous moose.
All right, here. Look at this coffee cup. This is the one I drank out of.
Yeah, that's a serious coffee cup. That's something you can look people straight in the eye and say, "I'm having my coffee."
Damn it, man. I want one that's a little bit bigger.
That's what the choir boy said, sir. Now, stuff called Metal Coat from it was a Humbrol product, and it listed itself as polished steel, and it came out as this color.
Polished steel.
That is not polished steel. What the fuck is that?
Man, that looks like something. I don't know what to call that. That looks like that's blood.
It looks like shit. That's what it looks like. Anyway, now
steel.
I mean, there are a couple of times when you'd use that color, but you know. Now, as luck would have it, I did have some aluminium left, but not enough.
Aluminium.
So here's the just the aluminium coat on the Impala's hull.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I think that's a good undercoat option.
It is.
I got to say, one thing I got to say about the setup of the Impala, that little line there that goes chrome. Oh, you want to talk about setting it up nice and easy for a scale modeler? Bless their cotton fucking socks. Just easy, you know.
Well, I use a chrome pin on mine.
A chrome what?
A chrome pin.
Okay. I'm just looking at it going, that's going to be so easy to paint.
Oh, well. So the inside, I done my interior is white and blue. So I masked mine off and painted it white. And then after it dried for 2 days, I masked off the white and then I painted the car the blue I wanted it. And then when it dried for 2 days, then I
Excuse me.
the tape off, and then I done the chrome with the chrome pin on it.
Ah.
And it
Oh,
comes,
I see
it
what
comes
you
with
did
decals.
differently there. Yeah, I'm with it.
So
So you've
yeah,
done like white with the chrome on the edge.
yeah. That line that runs all the way
Interesting.
down. Now it's just on the
Yeah.
top, not on the bottom.
Yeah, okay. So you don't go both sides with it. You only do the top like that.
Yeah, just the top up there, closer to the door panel, all the way down. I didn't do the bottom.
Either way, it's still pretty clear and distinct.
Yeah, and then
All
the
I can
running
say to
board,
that is bless their cotton socks.
then the kicker plate, I painted it chrome.
David's here. Hang on a moment, mate.
All right.
There we go. And boom. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Slight problems.
Yeah, well. Now,
You're late for class.
I might do. Oh, and I got my before I get returned to the stretch. There we go. I got both the wheels on now. One,
Right.
two.
Now you have 6 wheels. Nice.
I do.
You about to wrap that one up, ain't you?
Yeah. I want the. I'll show you. These are still in the drying. They will dry to clear. I can either wait, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I know they'll go clear because I found a whatchamacallit. That's what I found. A whatchamacallit. Yeah. A toothpick that I'd used, and ultimately, yes, it had all dried clear.
Oh dear.
So I think it's a question of just patience. You know what I mean?
Give me a few minutes.
So I hate being patient.
No hard patience.
Ultimately, is what is required. Now, what I was thinking about doing in the meantime, with regards to the fact that there's a whole. Give me a moment to find. Here we are. I wanted to give all of this, or large parts of this at least, a suitable undercoat for that, and using the same sort of metallic. What I can do, and in fact will do, for the time being, is just give it a bit of a slap over with some natural steel acrylic paint, and that'll do the job. And that will hopefully not take too long. I'm kidding myself there, but you know.
Well,
but at least then I've got the good surfacing situation going on, something good underneath it all to help bring up the gleam, as it were. 'Cause that's what you want, is something underneath that'll go shiny. They'll bring up the paint job better. That's my theory, anyway.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I got some maintenance to do. My light just is blown, so I got to replace that. And
it's dark over there by you.
Yeah. Just happened just before the start of the show. I thought, that's interesting, and the camera wouldn't work.
Hey, got a bug going on there, Rob?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's better. Deary me. I don't know why I'm so snuffly today. Could be pollen's in the air. There's 2 times a year when I start getting very, very snuffly. One is autumn, the other is spring.
Autumn, spring.
Yeah,
I can understand.
Thickest.
I don't understand the autumn. Everything's dying off.
A lot of stuff does, but depending on, some plants seem to generate more pollen as a result. I think it's also a very active time for your ferns and stuff, and they put all their spores out. That's what I don't know, but I have noticed it in.
Well, I do know one thing: a fern will grow any damn where you put it.
Ferns are great.
Yeah. I found them
Quite remarkable plants.
wild ferns in the woods.
They're quite remarkable plants in terms of how hardy they are.
I sure have. I've seen them growing in the woods and brought some home before.
Yeah, I can believe that. Easy.
And I wonder if it's the same damn thing that you buy uptown at the plant nursery.
Probably.
I would imagine. Hell. Well, I know there's probably
I guess
different.
the difference would be, or the difference is for the average punter, that yes, it is exactly the same plant. They don't have to go and get it.
That is true. The me and Basswoman were sitting on the porch a while ago before the stream started, enjoying the pretty weather today. I saw this big ass skeeter hawk. You have skeeter hawks over there in Australia?
We have different birds of prey.
No, this is actually an insect, not a bird.
Oh, no, I don't know if we do, or if we do, we call them something different. If
Yeah, mosquitoes, right?
Mosquitoes. Oh yeah, we get big ones sometimes.
Little blood sucking bastards.
Oh yeah, man.
Aren't they?
Up north they get bigger, I believe, like in the tropical areas.
Oh yeah.
Some parts of us, most people think of Australia as arid, which most of it is. Some parts of Australia are in the tropics.
Yep.
And comes with all the associated joys, which is to say, fucking big mozzies, and yeah, it even gets some of the tail end of the monsoons, like the tail end. It doesn't get the full effect, but there's a distinct wet and dry season up north.
Well, if you have standing water around where you live, chances are you're gonna have mosquitoes really bad.
Oh fuck yeah!
And always during the early part of spring and summer, you get mosquitoes really bad. When they start turning cold, they die.
There's a quite posh suburb. Posh is the wrong word. I guess it's one of those. It's one of those created communities, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where they've developed a whole suburb and sold it all off to quite exorbitant prices, you get the drill.
Yep.
I'm sure you have similar situations in the US.
Absolutely.
And anyway, point is, oops-a-daisy, that the place is called Mawson Lakes. And as you can gather, there's lakes there. And Chris, in fact, and his wife had examined the possibility of even buying there at one stage. And as they went there and looked there, they came back referring to it as mosquito lakes.
Yep.
And basically, because it was fresh water. And look, don't get me wrong, I quite like Mawson Lakes as an area in some ways. But yeah, I can certainly see on a warm summer night, particularly after a few warm summer nights, that the larvae would have had plenty of time to incubate.
Yep.
And out they'd come saying, "How you doing?"
That's why we always kept our pool covered during the wintertime, because we didn't. And yes, sir.
You know what's going to happen.
Mosquito heaven.
Oh yeah. Let me do that properly, actually. Oh yeah.
And there's like different types of mosquitoes right here. We got some that's got they're real dark gray with white stripes on them. And them motherfuckers bite you, you know it.
Yeah. Anything that has stripes on comes with a warning. There's a reason why they have stripes on with insects. They're trying to tell you something. I actually had heard that suggestion put by one naturalist or another. I can't remember who it was, but the comment, it may even actually have been Steve Irwin,
may have been.
now that I think about it. But he was saying that when you see a creature that's brightly coloured in the natural environment, it's one of two things. One, it's a clear warning. Do not touch me. It'll come with all sorts of nastiness, poisons,
right.
all the rest. So they're warning you. The other option is that it's a bluff.
Oh yeah. It can be just a deterrent to make you think.
Yeah. Oh, this is clearly a dangerous one. I might want to be cautious. Now, that's just and you think that's kind of clever.
I think it was my teacher that told us in grade school. I'm pretty sure it was about snakes. He said it all. Red and yellow kill a fella. Red and black friend of Jack.
Ha! Well, I wouldn't roll with that over here.
No, not over there.
Because red and black. Over here, there's a cute little critter called the red-bellied black snake. And I believe it comes in as around 5 or 6 most deadly in the world. You find them quite casually in metropolitan backyards.
Yep.
That's an exaggeration, but you do see them, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
And
now we had a rattlesnake
they're not really if they hear you coming, they'll fuck off. They've got no interest in you as a
not that, and they're more scared of you than you are them.
Yeah. Now we do have some black and yellows called tiger snakes. And the thing about tiger snakes is they can be fucking aggressive. That's the wrong word, but they are territorial. So where some of the other snakes will fuck off, your tiger snake will perhaps rear. They're actually related to the cobra.
Yeah.
So they'll actually hold their ground and start doing what you do, what you want. What you talking about, Willis?
I actually saw something
towards you.
I was on Google the other day that there was a python that was almost 24 feet long. Had a man laying down next to it.
I found something quite interesting about snakes a while ago. And what it was I'd always been under the impression that the anaconda was the world's biggest snake. This is not actually true. It's the heaviest snake by mass, but the longest is another species again from Southeast Asia. So it depends on how you're defining biggest.
True.
As to who gets the jersey on that one.
I remember what the girth of it was.
Oh, it would be something phenomenal. Some of them get what we've all been called fucking huge, mate.
I don't know if they weren't an anaconda, was it? I remember that son of a bitch was 23 feet long.
That's huge. That's a whole lot of fuck off right there. You don't want to be messing with that sort of behavior. Or maybe you do, whatever floats your boat, man. But yeah, fuck off. That's big. Any animal that size is starting to get into turf you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
And that creature that big is big enough to consider you food. And will.
Our son will.
That's one of the things about big crocs. But yeah.
Pardon?
You
say something about a frog?
Crocs.
Crocs. Oh,
Crocodile.
yeah.
To a big enough croc, you are most definitely food. In fact, they don't even have to be that big. And they'll take an interest. Yeah.
Yeah, the crocodiles, what the alligators we get around here are by Cape Fear, and I don't really know how big they get. Well, I know we got some.
Well, I know that because what we got up north, the ones we have in Australia are saltwater crocodiles.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's them or the Nile crocodile is the biggest species of croc in the world. Saltwater crocs, however, a big one can actually swim, like go into open ocean and swim quite happily. And nothing's going to mess with that. Well, they might, but they don't. You're going to take on something that's bigger than you are, armored.
You're,
So it's known that they will swim between. You might need. I'm not sure. You might need a map for this one. Actually, a better way I can put it to you is this: the distance. If you imagine, let me see. It's only how far is it from Florida to Cuba?
huh?
Not far, is it? That's probably a bad example.
Really?
It might be a better example to go if you were to look at the distance from. Pardon?
Bass Woman said it was 1 hour and 10 minutes from Florida.
To fly?
Is that fly or boat?
Non-stop flight.
Non-stop flight.
Okay, that's from Florida to Cuba.
Yep.
All right.
Cuba.
Tampa, Florida to Cuba.
Right. Based on that, that still makes it a bit of a distance. That is the sort of distance that a saltwater crocodile can happily swim from Australia to, say, Indonesia. So you can gather they're a pretty formidable critter. And
Wow.
yeah, when they, as I said, that's why when they look at a human, they might just get them through a good few months because of the way the metabolism works. They'll eat something and that'll last them for however long.
Okay.
And, so they'll look at a human and go, "Oh, all they're seeing is prey. Beautiful." Croc, as a quick little aside, I don't know how familiar you are with the North Australian coast, but it's probably not entirely dissimilar to the Florida Everglades, large parts of it, mangroves.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Large parts of the North Australian coast are actually like that. You got mangroves, you got mud crabs in the shallow water. Of course, you got crocs, bull sharks. And it's because of that I've often thought that anybody who wanted to invade Australia, good luck with that. As soon as the blood hit the water, can you imagine?
Man.
Feeding fucking frenzy.
Yep. You're like a fucking
Just before
piranha.
that, even without any casualties caused by military actions. If you get into the mangroves, mud crabs we have over here have a claw big enough to actually break arms and legs.
Oh, I believe that.
Pardon?
I said, I believe that. Yeah, I
So
believe
that's
that.
another fun option. The option then, obviously, don't go through that. Go around it. Good option, that. Makes them a sitting duck because they've got to come down about half the continent.
The alligator snapping turtles.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, they'll do you a nasty.
Man.
I've seen two interesting things of snapping turtles. One with a guy named Steve Backshall. And he got a full size. They managed to catch a full size one. And he showed, because they showed footage of how they used the little bait in the mouth to sort of like draw fish in. And then, of course, they just snap. But he said they actually managed to get hold of one. I can't remember how they managed to get the mouth open to show just how savage and how big they were and how much damage they could do.
Oh, man, I can't remember. The bite force is something incredible.
It is something that will fuck your day up.
Yes, sir.
You think you're going to have a bad day at the office? You betcha.
Now, we got snapping turtles, little small ones over here. You can see them crossing the road all the time. And, yeah, them motherfuckers, I've caught them when I was a kid. And them motherfuckers, they'd lunge out and try to snap you.
Well, that's a bit like the second one thing I've seen, which was definitely Steve Irwin. And he had picked up one of the smaller ones, which had done what snapping turtles will do, which is lash out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty much the only thing that stopped it from getting him right in the face was the fact that he's recoiled back in time. And what does he chirp out with? As you would expect, crikey.
Crikey, mate.
And you think, crikey? You almost wound up with no fucking face, mate.
I just pissed myself.
It's a bit more than just crikey. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed watching it. It was a good show to watch.
Now,
me and Bassman were sitting on the porch talking about the insects and stuff, and she actually done a little bit of research on them. We had this thing called a camel cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, them things.
Bit nasty?
They're just annoying. Yeah, I mean, they don't have any kind of diseases. They don't bite you. They're not dirty per se, but
yeah.
Just the motherfucker, they'll jump and lunge.
Annoying.
They're like almost like a kangaroo. Their back legs are so big.
Yeah, right.
And them some bitches can jump.
Make you hurt yourself.
Yeah, they scare the fuck out of you. Kind of like those mosquito hawks I was talking about a while ago.
Here's something I'll share with you. I was on Facebook and I saw a friend of mine posted a picture of, I seem to have found a friend. And it was obviously she had been in her garden and encountered a praying mantis.
Oh, praying mantises are cool.
And I sent her and I've replied, yeah, be careful with those things. A friend of mine had a one-night stand with a praying mantis, and after that she chewed his head off.
Ain't that some shit?
And I haven't heard back from her yet.
No, ain't that also like the
That's
spider?
what they do, yeah. But
Don't the female spider kill the male?
with the black widow, yes, they do.
Yeah.
They know how to keep the man in line. Hey, no, look, Jesus. I've encountered my first flush episode with this kit, and it looks like it's probably the only one, and it's relatively minor. But one thing I got to show you this for almost comedic reasons. I will do a bit of a tidy up before I start getting into other things. Oh, hey, Reverend Robbie, how you doing?
Hello, Robbie.
He's going on a carnival cruise to the Great Barrier Reef.
Wow.
And he's doing a crocodile tour in Port Douglas. Oh, hey, John, you're here as well.
Hello, John.
Yeah, the crocodile tour would be cool, man.
Yeah, it would.
I actually know
Don't bring a
guy who
peto.
used to have I used to know a guy who had a place in Port Douglas, like a holiday home sort of a deal. And never mind. And this next bit is not relevant to crocodiles, but it is relevant to Port Douglas. He used to know a guy who lived in a houseboat in the marina. And what this guy would do as a way of making money would be that he'd sit in his marina or in his boat, just out the back, flick a few lures, and then he would, once he'd caught one, maybe two barramundi, he'd hook them or put a rope through the gills so they could still swim at the back of the boat alive. When some tourists came along, he'd say, "Give you $150 for that, guys." And they'd be going, "Oh, there you go." And that's how he made his money. Sitting on the back of a houseboat, casting lures. Now, all I've done there is prep up these to give me that metal base. I couldn't be fucked waiting for the spray can stuff to arrive, so I'm just doing it by hand for the time being.
Cool. Nice.
Because my theory is if I wait, because I want to do this. Now, here's what I was going to show you on the flush thing. Scope this out. Now, it's all the way around. Look at that. That's savage fluff. But there's no part that it's touching. Apart from this little bit right there.
Yeah, I had some flashing like that on that Nomad. That was aggravating.
Now, curiously and almost comically, it seems to me that is the only flush on the kit. So it's a bit. I'm grateful for that. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I will be too.
But it's a bit weird in its own little way. I'm sure you understand why I'm going. Curious that. So I'm going to attend to that before I start hitting this with stuff. Do need to keep a bit of an eye on the time. Oh yeah, we're doing well. Pardon?
The regular black crickets and gray crickets, you can fish with them, but them little black thumpers that get in your house, they rub the wings on their back legs, and them some bitches will sing all night long.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the camel cricket, they'll sit there in a corner and look at you. Camel crickets because they got a humpback.
Okay.
But man, when they jump, they make a thump noise.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's freaky. So they're big.
They're about the size of your thumb. The ones I've run across, about the size of your thumbnail. The end of your thumb.
Okay.
Their damn legs like you took kangaroo legs and put on the back of them.
Yeah, right.
They'll make you tear down the door trying to get out of the room. They're so scary.
Yeah, right. Now I think, I have. That's the flush cleared. That was pretty easy.
Oh, for you, Dad.
There and there we go. Cleared. Happy with that. Hang on, there's a little touch there. Now, put this away. Here's a question. Oh, it's not going to matter now that I think about it. I'll tell you what I was about to ask, and then I've thought about it a bit more. Oh, actually, no, maybe I'm wrong. It goes like this. Zip. Now, this is the interior area for the Impala. Now, what I'm wondering, if that is not covered, well, is that going to be covered by the roof? And if not, is that actually a carpeted area as opposed to a painted area, if you follow me?
Well, look at mine right here. See, I've used a convertible top where it's down.
Okay, so no, that's going to go straight over that. It's not really
So
going to
it
be
will go straight over that. Yeah, because I thought the same thing. Because I think I painted mine blue actually because I wanted it to be like the interior. And then I put this on there. I'm like, well, son of a bitch, I didn't have to paint that. But yeah, the roof part I'll cover it up. Now, if you use like the hard top that goes on it, then it will show. But with the convertible top down, it doesn't show.
Thanks for that. That gives me a bit of clarification. But yeah, you can see what, yeah. In fact, you know exactly why I was wondering about that.
Yep.
So, with all that borne in mind, let's see, what's the time? 35. I reckon I've got about another 40 minutes I can do. So I reckon I might as well. That's my take on it. Now, I'm probably going to run out of natural steel, and that's fine. I don't mind using oily steel for this because ultimately, as long as I get a shiny sort of a... that other one there is too dark. In fact, if that's dried, I might even go over the top of that with something a bit shinier.
The man of steel.
Yeah, that's it. Ha! There was a time, note was, when I was younger, when I was doing all my martial arts training and playing heavy metal as a bass player, but where the term made of metal was used. And yeah, it's a bit like I saw this post of Yoda. He was actually playing a 6-string, not a bass, but we'll leave that discussion there. But yeah, he's and from memory, it's the guitar he was playing is one called a Warlock, which is a pretty famous sort of a guitar, as you can imagine, a particular style and look. Anyway, and the line is, "Show these kids I will. Metal as fuck I am."
You know what I'd like to see?
What's that?
A martial artist with nunchucks fighting somebody with a sword.
Now, fun fact, and you may already be aware of this from the question reason you've posed that question. The way you use nunchucks in such a situation, and this was indeed the reason they used them, was to take the sword off of the guy. You wrap the chain around the blade and yoink it.
Yep.
That's one of your options.
Just spin around
the entirety of them. The other thing about nunchucks is that people think you're supposed to hit with them. And you can.
Yeah.
If you're going to hit, you tend to go soft tissue or rather soft joint sort of stuff. Joints is where you want to hit. Because the thing about hitting somebody, unless you hit joints, is, or the skull, is that it'll bounce, the chuckers will bounce back at you. If you hit them on a bag, you'll notice that. And
my brother and I, we used to mess with them a little bit when we were younger. And man, our elbows stayed so sore.
Yep. And the other thing with chuckers is one of the more interesting ways you can use them is to actually flick the chain around someone's wrist and grab both sides and crunch, crushing the joint.
Beat something off like that.
Now that does require a bit on the opportunity, obviously. Yeah, one of the first things you want to be doing, I would have thought, if you're the one with the chuckers, storyteller's note, they were never really my weapon. They're a small man's weapon. Which is why I went for things like broadsword each hand, guando, which is like a big pole arm.
Oh yeah, pole arm. Now they're pretty fierce.
They're brutal, mate. Used properly. Yeah. Put you in 2 pieces. If that's not going to ruin your day, what the hell will? You can use them a bit like a battle axe in terms of you can block with the shaft. And then, of course, having done the block, swing it around with the blade coming around to chop in, or up, down. And when you've got 2 hands worth of heavy blade coming down on your head, doesn't really matter if you're wearing a helmet.
I don't know if you ever watched any of the John Wick movies, but I don't remember which one it is, if it's 3 or 4. He uses a set of nunchucks when he's fighting a bunch of guys, and it's just hilarious watching him beat the fuck out these guys with his nunchucks.
He
trained in all that.
Yeah, I believe Keanu Reeves has done. I'm not quite sure what one he's done. He's done some martial art. I know because I know that a lot of when it comes to making movies, even if the actor doesn't want to do, say he's playing a certain role, they'll often get them to do or get someone to show them the ropes, as it were, to make it credible. As an example, you might remember when you first meet Tywin in the TV series Game of Thrones, he's actually skinning an animal because Jamie walks in,
yep,
and Tywin's skinning a deer.
Yep.
And Charles Dance was actually given a bit of a run over as to how to skin animals by a farrier for that scene. So in the same way, if you're going to do an action movie, they generally would get somebody to, show the ropes and coordinate and da-da-da. In fact, I think you'll find, or at least I have reason to believe, that Jackie Chan was used in Enter the Dragon partly to assist with the choreography. Not necessarily that Bruce Lee required it, but the other actors did.
I can see that.
And I think he's actually in the movie itself. Because, well, why wouldn't you? But yeah, he was used as a consultant and that was one of his early engagements with Hollywood.
Huh.
Because you got to remember that Jackie Chan's actually, I think he's actually from Hong Kong, which is now China, but
yeah.
I tell you, what the Chinese Communist Party has done to Hong Kong breaks my heart. When I went there in 2002, it was it was under Chinese rule, but it was still there was still a very strong British influence, and it was still pretty much the way it always had been under British rule. And it was a vibrant, energetic city. And then, because heaven forfend, people wanted to be given what they were promised when they were returned to China, which is to say that they would still have democratic elections, they've ruined that city. No one wants to go there. Why would you? Sadly, that's true of large parts of China,
Yeah.
China's got a wonderful place, but I wouldn't go there. You're one diplomatic incident from being locked up for whatever fucking reason they think it's good enough. Yes, unfortunate.
Damn it. Something tickling my throat.
The other side of the equation is, of course, I don't have to live with that. Some other people do. So, in truth, it's not my problem. I just think it's fucked.
Well, there you go.
I've said my piece, and we shall leave that there. I'm Ken Brockman, and that's my 2 cents worth. Now, once I've gotten this front part of the chassis done, that's prepped up, guys. I'm going to go and grab a book. I am.
I'm going to do what?
I'm going to get the book. We have not done a word today.
We have not. What you working on, David?
An unstickable car.
Ah.
It's a chassis won't fit glue. Put a load of glue on it, and it still won't stick.
All right. Now, there we go. If I get this bottom area prepped up, I'll be quite happy. Because what I will do is, there's a few things I want to get hold of to help paint this up nice and neatly. I'll actually get some proper chrome spray on paint, I reckon. Because like I want to do, I think I told you, I want to properly go for a chrome on the this support bar.
Yeah, chrome paint's pretty nice. I got a can.
I'll also be using chrome on these. That's the fuel tank, I think. And that would be the what you guys call the trunk, what we call the boot.
No, we call it the boot too. Yeah, we call it trunk and boot. Yeah, I grew up with Granny and Daddy calling it the boot.
Okay. There you go. That's interesting. Now, just so as you know, actually, that's a Simpsons reference that I may need to explain. I was going to say, which only goes to illustrate that when Australians talk about the boot, we are not talking about some kind of draconian punishment. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, when the Simpsons come to Australia, it's because Bart's racked up this huge reverse call charge, trying to find out about which way the water's running in the southern hemisphere, and he's refusing to pay it because, well, it's nothing to do with him. And eventually, of course, what happens is that the person or the farmer who he's done that to goes next door and approaches his local member, and then they go and approach the Prime Minister. Now, all I'm doing here is just this sort of stuff, getting that all ready to be properly painted. Now I'm going to clean the brush, but yeah, anyway. And once they've gone over to apologise, because that's what's required apparently. Oh, when they go to see the Prime Minister, they go to see another farmer just down the road, and he's in this big lake, sitting on a inflated tyre, chugging down Foster's. And they call out to him, "Mr. Prime Minister! Mr. Prime Minister! Andy!" And then, yeah, it's a bloody outrage it is. They get the Simpsons over, and ultimately Bart's supposed to make an apology, which they've comes in the form of him being kicked with an oversized boot. And yeah,
no, stop.
Well, that happens for various reasons, but yeah, that's the what I'm saying.
We were watching Family Guy last night, and Stewie got detention.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who's up there at the chalkboard writing is Bart.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Bart Simpson.
Have you seen some of the or any of the, because they do some crossover episode at least once.
It was actually there was 2 different crossovers that we watched with 2 different episodes of Family Guy last night that had Bart in it. So Bart came into the room one time and said something to Stewie. I thought that was kind of
right. Well, there's a thing where I've seen is that
so me and Bass won't look at one another.
Stewie and Bart become friends, and Bart's doing his skateboard thing, and Stewie does it, and he does it very badly. And then Nelson comes and says, "I copied from your test, and we've got everything wrong, so I failed," and punched him in the stomach and walks off. She says, "Oh my God, how long has he been doing that? Boy, been doing that? Oh, about 24 years." And Stewie takes care of business, and what he does is he manages to nail Nelson with a tranquilizer dart. When Nelson comes to, he's hogtied to this chair with a ball in his mouth, and basically, ultimately, Stewie torments him, and when the Griffins are leaving, Bart shows him that he's not only has he kidnapped and tormented Nelson, but also Jimbo, Principal Skinner, and Apu. He said, I know Apu's not one of your enemies, but I said I took him because so I could say that I took Apu. And ultimately, yeah, Bart said, "This is fucked up, man. CLA, you can't do this." And but yeah, Stewie goes and kidnaps and torments all the. Why? Because he's here we go. Oh wow! Ha! Here's some terms for the backside. You ready?
Let's have it.
Ars Musica, Blind Cupid, Bum Fiddle, and Double Jug. Anchor, bring your ass to an anchor, i.e. sit down.
What the fuck?
Fantastic. Apple dumpling shop, a woman's bosom.
Apple dumpling shop.
Yeah, apparently. Go figure. Funny stuff.
Good man. Can I have some more?
Yeah. That's another thing you see with Stewie as far as out of the scenes. There's it shows him doing the Oliver scene of "Please, sir, can I have some more?" And when he's given the whole explanation of more, he trots out this I can't remember what it is. It's some kind of firearm, and yeah, he gets more. This is not a negotiation.
Well, I remember when The Simpsons came on. Was it once, twice a week? I'm glad to go back and start watching some Simpsons. Bart just.
When I first heard of The Simpsons, and bear in mind that these days I'm quite a big Simpsons fan. I thought it sounded like the most stupid thing I'd ever heard of. A cartoon show. Really? What I didn't appreciate, of course, was there's a lot of great humor in it.
Oh, there is. There's a lot.
And
golden.
Oh, yeah. So good. And yeah, obviously you can gather my opinions have changed. But the thing was, when I first heard of it, I thought, that's not going to last. Yeah, about
Oh,
that.
shit. Damn. How many seasons did it last?
Yeah. And that is actually one of a number of instances where I've come to the conclusion it is well I never tried to be a talent spotter or anything like that. Because around that time, or when I was 18, this is a similar sort of a tale. I was over at Chris's place. We'd had a big night, and just dropped my brush. Caught it, but dropped it. We when we were sort of recovering from hangovers, depending on whether he crashed at mine, he crashed it, whichever. We'd usually watch Video Hits. Was the morning video show for music. And one of them was one morning we saw this blonde temptress pulsating and gyrating on the TV screen, singing this song called "Burning Up." And as we looked at her, and began deriding what we were seeing. In time, we were looking back. It's another one of those things we're saying, yeah, we clearly weren't onto anything there, as far as we had no idea, because that pulsating, gyrating young lady was Madonna.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah, she'll never last. Yeah, whatever, man.
Yep.
Equally, now this is a name. I'm not sure how big she is in the US. She's quite big in the UK though, and I think possibly on the continent of Europe. Kylie Minogue.
I have no clue who that is.
Okay. Kylie Minogue in Australia first came to prominence in a TV show called Neighbours, a soap opera. And then she and the character who were meant to be her, so like beau, as it were,
Jason,
finished up their time at the show because yada yada, they did, and went off and did various things. And she went off and did a lot of work with producers. I think she was a Stock Aitken and Waterman product. Stock Aitken and Waterman back in the late 80s or mid to late 80s were big producers of basically one-hit wonder pop. But the one that they stuck with was Kylie, because she put out quite a lot and she became very popular in certainly Europe and the UK, but for various reasons I'm not quite sure of, given that she's actually heterosexual, the gays love her. She is huge in the gay scene globally. She's like considered a gay icon for some reason. Don't ask me why. And at the end of the day, when I first became aware of her doing music, I thought, yeah, it's just a spin-off from the show. She's not going anywhere. These days, she makes quite big. She's big.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just like, okay, clearly I have no ability to peg what's going to be the next big thing. So that's
kind of like Boy George, Culture Club.
Yep. He's actually a quite well. He's now what was the Art of Noise? That's what he was involved in.
I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble.
He did he was involved in quite a number of. No, it wasn't the Art of Noise. Ministry of Sound. That's them.
Is that what it was?
Okay, Culture Club was how he made his name and how everybody came to know him. But Ministry of Sound, which he's one of the producers of and put out a lot, and I mean a lot, of dance tracks and stuff. And we're like right on the cutting edge of a lot of that sort of stuff. And that was backed by Boy George.
Yep.
He's not just the guy from Culture Club. He's not just the guy who does judging on various things. I guess that's just not quite sure why he'd bother himself with it, but whatever. Maybe he views it as a way of keeping himself culturally relevant. I don't know. Each to their own, you know.
Yep.
At the end of the day, yeah, a lot of people didn't think, we're going, what's this? Culture Club nonsense, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, well, now who's laughing, man?
It's like that one group, Milli Vanilli. They were all kind of find out they were.
Yeah, busted. Yeah, they got pinged, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It took a little while, but they finally caught on to them.
Oh, well, it's no worse than the monkeys. I mean,
shit.
That's a
Hey, okay.
That's a kind of funny tale all of its own too, I would suggest. I mean, you got to say, come on, guys, did you really think that at some point that wouldn't leak out?
I know, right? Well, I mean, during that time period, they were really good at it, though.
Well, look, there's a whole stack of things like that. Here's another one for you. Do you remember Boney M?
Yeah.
Boney M.
Boney M.
Boney M. No.
Boney M were you'd know them if you heard them, trust me on this. Back in I reckon it was the 80s.
Yeah.
They were a dance outfit, basically. Their songs were things like, okay, brace yourself. Ready?
All right.
Rah, rah, Rasputin, Russia's only sex machine. Yeah, that was one of theirs. They did By the Rivers of Babylon, where we said they did that sort of stuff. What was one of their?
That's that.
Yeah.
What was it? Damn it.
But ultimately, when they were first heard on the airwaves, they didn't even have members. All it actually was a DJ had made the tracks in a studio, was doing well with airplay, and required people to front as the band. And once that happened, and they needed to perform live, he got some studio musicians to do the actual music. Figured he'd get these. There was it 2 girls or 3 girls and a guy, David? Can't remember offhand.
2 girls and a guy.
Yep, there we go. And that was the lineup he settled on to be his stage outfit. But ultimately, it was all entirely a fabrication, because in truth, he didn't need them to create the music. So in many ways, you can argue, how is that different?
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the trials and tribulations.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Who?
There's Bobby Farrell, the male, and there's the 3 girls were Liz Mitchell, Maisie Williams, and Marcia Barrett.
Nice. There we go.
Shirley Bonnet was the lead vocalist, and
that was another one they did. Daddy Cool.
Yeah.
Daddy, Daddy Cool, Daddy,
That,
Daddy Cool.
that sounds weird. What about the band called Ram Jam that sang
Black Betty.
Black Betty?
Oh yeah,
Man,
that got covered by an Australian band called Spiderbait.
oh really?
Yeah, Spiderbait were interesting because their vocalist was the drummer, which is not common but does happen. Because I know that Don Henley, I believe, and the Eagles did that, as did Phil Collins, but he did that more after he came out from behind the drum kit, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Phil Collins, he's a hell of a singer.
He's a very good drummer, and he's actually, well, he was in his time regarded as a top drum producer as far as the sound. If you wanted to get a good drum sound, you got Phil Collins in to produce your drum track.
Yeah, there's good music today. There is, but man, I tell you what.
David clearly has an opinion on that.
Well, I say that not to be, anyone hating on me, but the music back then, man, was so much better. Even the singers like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard and all them guys were, I'm straight, but them guys were sexy. They had long, beautiful hair. They were pretty. They wore tight jeans, and they were awesome.
I saw now this guy. You might not know who I'm about to talk. There's a guy called Doug Helvering. Doug Helvering is his name on YouTube. He's a classically trained musician. He does reactions to. And he teaches people. So he teaches music at university, and he listens to classic tracks and analyzes them and stuff like that. And he listened to, or he broke down a Whole Lot of Love musically, and he was saying that there are women at his church, like middle-aged and quite, or who would have been young when this came out, and to this day they gush over Robert Plant.
Hell, look at Queen. What he used to wear on stage.
Oh wow.
Oh mate,
Damn shorts, damn junk almost hanging out up there on stage.
That was
had no qualms.
Freddie Murphy.
no, Queen was the name of the band.
Yeah, Queen was man. Freddie Murphy don't want to dress like that.
But yeah,
I saw one of his videos yesterday. I'm like, son of a bitch.
there's actually, here's something I should send to you as far as an amusing breakdown of contemporary music. I've told you about, in fact, I've sent you some Aussie Man, and he gives his opinion on Nicki Minaj's Anaconda, and I will go for a bit of spoiler here.
Yeah, why did you say that?
Because at one stage, because he's paying it out, and he chirps out with, "Look, if I wanted to see porn, I'd put my own stuff on and some music I actually liked."
Brown chicken, brown cow.
And you got to say, well, that's a pretty fair call now, isn't it?
Yep.
Because if you look at the film clip, it's like, as he says, that he looks at the way that some of the girls are conducting themselves in the clip, and he said, presenting, blowjob eyes, more presenting. And he starts paying out and like that. So, oh, really? So it's fantastic. And it deserves to be paid out on, really.
Yep.
Actually, so does she, for trying to show up showing up at President Trump rallies when her motivation is the fact that her brother's in jail for rape.
What?
Yeah, her brother's in jail for something quite heinous, and the suggestion is that the only reason she's actually turning up to Trump rallies is to try and see if she can get a pardon. He was saying, how about showing some principles? And if that's what he does, fuck him. Doesn't matter if you're related. Fuck him. If he's that bad a person, you don't need to acknowledge that bond of blood, you know? If he's going around raping people, fuck him off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these YouTube videos I've been watching, I've been running across a lot of music I actually used to listen to, like White Snake and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The still the night with a wolf now, honey.
Man,
Sniffing around your door. Still the night with my heart beating heavy, telling me I want to have more. Wow.
videos of White Snake and Def Leppard and
John Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi and just to see how
Queen, AC/DC.
Yeah, Queen, AC/DC. Oh my God, what's this? So many other ones.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Iron Maiden and Megadeth are playing doing some shows over here. And a part of me wants to go and see them, and a part of me does not.
See, it was sex appeal back then, that drawed most of the people. The songs were amazing, but it had sex appeal too.
I'll tell you who.
You don't have that today.
Actually, I'm about to fess up to. This is an amusing example of it, and we're going back to the 70s now, and that sex appeal is not held. I'm just saying. And I know this because I've seen what she looks like recently. My first ever crush, Susie Quattro.
Susie Quattro.
You're kidding? You don't know Susie Quattro? She did Devilgate Drive. Down at Devilgate, down at Devilgate, down at Devilgate Drive.
Okay.
What else did she do? You'd know her if you saw her. Back in the day, when she was a performer, oh, yeah.
Okay, this is the 70s then.
Oh, yeah.
The 80s. No, I don't know.
But, yes, time has not been kind to her, and the years have indeed condemned.
Well,
now,
time was hard on her, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Look right there.
Yeah, when she was young.
That's
yeah.
Right there.
Funny.
Then you look at her as she gets older, and it's yes, I'm going to back away now.
Ooh.
Now I'm going to.
What nightmares are made of.
Oh, dude, it's all bad news. Now I'm going to wind up the stream.
All right.
Bassman, solo time for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I've got the made windshield in the front. I got the back windshield in. Got the light bar.
What type of car is that?
What now?
What type? I know that's Roscoe's police car. What type of car is it?
It is a Plymouth. What is that? Damn it. Well, some of it. I'm being stupid right now.
Yeah. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I can always Google it.
Anyhow, it's a Dodge. Plymouth Dodge. I got to go in.
Either way,
That's coming along.
that's what you got done thus far.
Damn it. I know what it is, man. I just got to have it.
It's a cop car.
Cop car. There you go.
Yeah.
Damn it. That's me. That's all I've done. That's it.
Plymouth Fury.
Plymouth Fury. That's what it is.
That's the Plymouth Fury, right here.
Plymouth Fury.
Okay. Interesting. All right, David.
Plymouth woman.
Well, after doing the lights and everything, still trying to get this part to stick, and it's not sticking.
Yeah, right.
So it's getting a bit sort of.
Yeah.
So otherwise, if I can get that to stick, it'd be perfect. Then I can get on.
It looks like that looks just so much like the car that a gangster would jump out and mow you down with a submachine gun afterwards.
Yeah. Just
Got a
doing
drum
the,
magazine on it.
I just got to finish off doing these. The bonnet.
Okay, cool. Oh, the
So,
bonnet. Yeah. All righty.
Otherwise,
All righty. That is. Whoops! I need to move my camera. I do. Hey.
I just couldn't do very much.
Yeah.
I was taken out
Yep.
for a pub lunch by my good lady. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, that is us done for today. Thanks everyone for watching. First time viewers, you know the drill. Follow, like, or subscribe. Other platforms. I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram, Twitch, and follow, like, or subscribe.
Follow,
Now
subscribe.
tomorrow I might be on actually.
What?
I am supposed to be going fishing, but with my arm being I'll see how my arm pull. I'm still waiting to see how my arm pulls up later today.
This your left arm, right?
It is, but the ultimate thing is, of course, that's the hand I would hold a rod with.
So how many times you put it up with your chin?
Yeah, well, but ultimately, yeah, it's a bit. I don't want to. I want it to heal, and I'm not entirely sure doing shit with it is a great idea, you know. So if I am on, or if I'm not going to be going fishing, I'm going to be on. I will send you guys an email. And
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
Batman's paid me out, and I didn't catch it. I'm on to you, man. All right. So if I'm not on tomorrow, I'll definitely be on Sunday at the usual time. If I am on tomorrow, I'll be on at the usual time. So either of today or tomorrow.
So what's your usual time?
Pardon?
I said, what's your usual time?
My usual time's supposed to be 8 o'clock, theoretically. Theoretically. As to how that rolls out in practice is an entirely different matter. All right. So I'll see you either of tomorrow or Sunday. I'll let you know one way or t'other at the usual kit time and the same kit channel. And and I'll catch all you good people then. See yous.
Hasta la vista.